Brothers and sisters, listen up. You're going to hear a lot of things in your life, but the one thing I need you to understand today is this overthinking is killing your potential. It's stopping you from doing what you know you can do. It's robbing you of your peace and paralyzing your progress. But it doesn't have to be that way. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you say, I'll do it when the time is right? You wait, and you wait, and you wait. And what happens? Nothing. Because the perfect moment you're waiting for doesn't exist. If you're waiting for everything to align perfectly, for the stars to align, or for the conditions to be just right, you will be waiting forever. Let me be clear, the time is never going to be perfect. It's never going to come packaged in the way you think it should. So what are you waiting for? Perfection is a myth. It's a story we tell ourselves to justify the delay. It's easier to say, I'll wait until everything is perfect, than to face the fear of failure, the uncertainty of what might happen, or the discomfort of stepping into the unknown. Life is messy, unpredictable, and chaotic at times. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll stop waiting and start doing. It doesn't matter how much you plan, how much you prepare, or how much you think you need before you start. You've got everything you need right now. You've got the ability to move forward, the strength to take a step, and the resilience to keep going even when it feels hard. But you've got to move. You've got to act. Stop wasting time thinking about how it could be better, because it won't be better until you start. The truth is, you're probably holding yourself back because you're afraid. You're afraid of making the wrong decision, afraid of failing, afraid of not being ready. But the only way to truly be ready is to get started. You'll never know if something works until you try it. You'll never know how strong you are until you push yourself to take that first step, even when you don't have everything figured out. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. All you have is the moment you're in right now. And what you do with this moment determines where you go next. Think about it for a second. How many times have you looked back on your life and realized that the moments that shaped you the most didn't come when you expected them? The breakthrough, the lesson, the opportunity came when you least expected it, when you weren't ready, when you felt unprepared. But you did it anyway. You took a chance, you took action, and that's what moved you forward. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. You'll never know what could happen because you're too busy planning, preparing, worrying about what might go wrong. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They started before they felt ready. They took risks, made mistakes, and learned along the way. But here's the thing, they never stopped moving. They kept going, even when things weren't perfect. They understood that the process was just as important as the outcome. The journey was what made them stronger, more capable, and more resilient. You've got to let go of the idea that there's some magical moment where everything will fall into place. It's just not true. The magic happens when you decide to take that first step. The magic happens when you say, I'm going to move forward. Even if I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, and in that decision, in that action, everything changes. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you're letting fear control your life. You're letting the fear of not being good enough, of making a mistake, of failing, stop you from reaching your potential. And that's unacceptable. You have too much to offer, too much talent, too much strength to let fear dictate your path. Stop waiting. Start now. The perfect moment will never come. But what you do with the moment you have right now will shape the rest of your life. Don't let another minute pass you by. Move forward, even if you're not 100% ready. Just take that first step and watch how everything starts to unfold. Fear is the root of overthinking. It's a sneaky, silent force that creeps into your mind and convinces you that you need to overanalyze every decision, every action, and every move you make. When you're afraid, your mind works overtime trying to protect you, trying to predict every possible outcome, trying to control every variable. But in doing so, it paralyzes you. It freezes you in a state of indecision and doubt. Fear convinces you that if you don't think it through enough, if you don't anticipate every possible problem, you'll make a mistake. But here's the thing, overthinking doesn't protect you, it traps you. It tricks you into believing that the more you think about something, the more prepared you'll be. But the truth is, the more you think, the more you doubt. The more you second guess, the more you question yourself. Fear makes you believe that if you don't analyze every detail, if you don't plan for every possible scenario, something will go wrong. It creates a false sense of security, making you think that overthinking will somehow give you control. But control is an illusion. No matter how much you think, plan, or strategize, you cannot control every outcome. Life doesn't work like that. Fear tries to convince you that you can. In doing so, it keeps you stuck in your head, paralyzed by the what ifs and maybes. It keeps you from taking action, from moving forward, from living the life you deserve. Fear tells you that you're not ready, that you don't have enough information, that you haven't prepared enough. And so you wait. You wait until you're sure, until you're confident, until you think you've figured everything out. But that moment never comes. Fear will always find a new reason to keep you in your head, to keep you questioning yourself. The reality is, you will never have all the answers. You will never know everything. There will always be unknowns. There will always be risks. And there will always be doubts. That's life. But fear doesn't want you to accept that. It wants you to live in a constant state of not enough convincing you that you need to think more, plan more, prepare more before you can act. But all that does is rob you of your time and energy. Overthinking keeps you stuck in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. It prevents you from making decisions and taking risks. It keeps you from stepping into your power and your potential. When you let fear control your thoughts, you give up your freedom. You give up your ability to act, to move, to create. You give up the chance to live boldly, to take chances, and to trust yourself. The more you feed fear with overthinking, the stronger it becomes. But the only way to break free from this cycle is to face the fear head on. Acknowledge it, but don't let it dictate your actions. Recognize that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't control you unless you allow it to. Fear may never go away entirely, but you can learn to move forward in spite of it. The key is to stop overthinking and start trusting yourself. Trust that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Trust that you will learn and grow from your experiences. Trust that you are capable, even when things aren't certain. When you choose to stop overthinking, you choose to take your power back from fear. You choose to stop letting fear dictate your every move. You choose to trust that, even if things don't go perfectly, you'll figure it out. You choose to stop doubting yourself and start living the life you deserve. Fear will always try to keep you in your comfort zone, but growth happens outside of it. You can't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect plan, or the perfect answer. The only thing that's holding you back is the fear of what might happen. But the truth is, what might happen is the least important thing. What matters is what you do next. Trust your instincts. Deep down, you already know the way. The problem is you've been taught to doubt it. You've been conditioned to second guess yourself, to listen to the opinions of others, to seek approval, and to wait for the perfect answer. But what if the real answers have always been within you? What if you didn't need to search outside of yourself for validation, advice, or reassurance? What if you simply trusted the voice inside of you that's been there all along? Your instincts are more powerful than you give them credit for. They are the result of years of experience, intuition, and subconscious knowledge. You may not be able to explain it, but you feel it. You know when something is right, even if your mind can't fully articulate why. You know when something doesn't feel right, even if all the external signs tell you otherwise. Your instincts are there to guide you, to protect you, and to direct you toward what is best for you, even when your mind is filled with doubt and confusion. But the key is, you have to listen. Too often, we override our instincts. We talk ourselves out of doing what feels right because we're afraid of making the wrong decision. We seek certainty, we want to avoid risk, and we tell ourselves that we need more information, more time, or more opinions before we can act. But in doing so, we lose the power of our instincts. The more you listen to your gut, the clearer it becomes. Your intuition grows stronger as you begin to trust it, and it becomes easier to differentiate between fear and true inner guidance. The more you act on what feels right, the more you'll see how powerful your instincts really are. When you trust your instincts, you take ownership of your life. You stop relying on others to tell you what's best for you, because you already know what's best. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to move forward. You stop letting doubt or fear make your decisions. Trusting your instincts is about trusting yourself. It's about understanding that you are capable of making the right decisions, even when the outcome is uncertain. It's about having the courage to move forward, even when the path is not fully clear. Your instincts know you better than anyone else ever could. They know your values, your strengths, and your true desires. They know the direction you need to go, even when your conscious mind doesn't fully understand it. And yet, so many of us spend years ignoring this inner compass, looking for answers outside of ourselves, listening to others instead of listening to our own truth. The more you ignore your instincts, the harder it becomes to hear them. The more you doubt yourself, the further away you get from your true path. But once you start trusting your instincts, everything changes. You become more confident, more decisive, and more aligned with your true purpose. You stop wasting time trying to figure everything out with your mind, and you start acting on what feels right. You stop letting fear and doubt cloud your judgment. You start to understand that your instincts are not there to steer you wrong. They are there to guide you toward what's best for you, even if it doesn't always make logical sense. When you trust your instincts, you stop overthinking. You stop getting caught up in the endless cycle of doubt and worry. You stop waiting for all the pieces to fall into place. You start moving forward, trusting that the pieces will fall into place as you take action. You stop questioning your worth, your abilities, and your decisions, and instead you start believing in yourself. Your instincts are there for a reason. They are part of you. They are connected to your deeper wisdom, to your soul, to your true essence. And when you trust them, you start to live a life that is more authentic, more powerful, and more fulfilling. So stop ignoring that voice inside of you. Stop doubting what you already know. Trust your instincts, and you will be amazed at where they take you. Perfection is a lie. It's a story we've been told, a myth that we've bought into, thinking that if we could just reach this ideal state of flawlessness, everything would be right. But the truth is, perfection doesn't exist. It's a concept, an illusion, something created by society to make us believe that we have to be perfect in order to be successful, worthy, or loved. We chase it endlessly, thinking that once we get there, we will finally be content. But the truth is, perfection is a moving target, an unattainable destination that only leads to frustration and disappointment. The pressure to be perfect can be suffocating. We look around at others and think they have it all together, that their lives are flawless, that they never make mistakes. But that's just an illusion too. Everyone has their struggles, their flaws, their imperfections. No one's life is as perfect as it seems from the outside. Perfection is a comparison game, and the moment you start playing it, you've already lost. You're setting yourself up for failure by expecting something that is impossible to achieve. The reality is, it's our imperfections that make us human. It's our mistakes, our missteps, our flaws, and our struggles that give us the depth, the richness, and the character that make us who we are. Without them, we would be nothing but robotic versions of ourselves, devoid of growth, learning, and personal development. Perfection tells us that we should never fail, never make a mistake, never show weakness. But that's not how life works. It's through our failures, our challenges, and our moments of imperfection that we truly learn, grow, and evolve. Chasing perfection often leads to paralysis. We become so afraid of making mistakes, so afraid of not living up to some impossible standard, that we stop taking action altogether. We overthink, we second guess ourselves, and we hold back, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. But the truth is, those moments never come. You will never feel completely ready. You will never have all the answers. And that's okay. The key is to stop waiting for perfection to show up and start moving forward anyway. It's through the imperfect actions, the steps taken even when you don't have everything figured out, that you build momentum and create the life you desire. Perfection is also a trap that keeps us stuck in the past or focused on the future. When we're constantly striving for perfection, we're not living in the present moment. We're either regretting something we did wrong in the past or worrying about what might happen in the future. Perfectionism robs us of our ability to fully experience life as it is right now, with all its messiness, unpredictability, and beauty. When you let go of the need for perfection, you free yourself to experience life as it comes, to embrace the imperfect moments, and to appreciate the growth that happens in the process, not just at the destination. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect, you'll never get anywhere. You'll spend your life chasing something that doesn't exist, holding yourself to an impossible standard that was never meant to be met. And in the end, you'll have missed out on the richness of life, the mistakes, the growth, the lessons learned along the way. Perfection is not the goal. The goal is progress, not perfection. The goal is to show up every day, take action, and be okay with the fact that things won't always be perfect. It's about doing your best, learning from your experiences, and moving forward with the understanding that imperfection is not a failure. It's simply part of the journey. Stop chasing perfection. Embrace your imperfections. Take action, make mistakes, learn, and grow. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about being real, being present, and becoming the best version of yourself, not through flawless execution, but through the experiences and growth that come from living authentically and fully. You're wasting time. We all are, in one way or another. Time is the one resource we cannot get back. And yet, we often treat it as though it's limitless. We waste it on things that don't matter, on distractions, on waiting for the perfect moment, on things that don't move us closer to our goals. We say we don't have enough time, but the truth is, we're not making the most of the time we have. Every minute we spend procrastinating, doubting, or waiting is a minute we'll never get back. And when it's gone for good. We live in a world full of distractions. Phones, social media, endless notifications, these things pull us away from what's important. We scroll mindlessly, checking our phones every few minutes, thinking we're staying updated, but we're really just wasting time. We waste it on things that provide temporary pleasure, but no lasting value. We tell ourselves we're busy, but are we really accomplishing anything? Are we really moving forward? Or are we just filling our days with noise and distractions that keep us from doing the work that matters? The truth is, we often let fear dictate how we spend our time. We're afraid to start because we're not sure we're ready. We're afraid of failing, so we waste time thinking about what could go wrong instead of taking action. We wait for the right circumstances, the right time, or the right opportunity to come along. But waiting only keeps us stuck. Time keeps moving forward, whether we're ready or not. Every moment that passes is a moment we can never get back. And the longer we wait, the more opportunities slip away. We also waste time by overthinking. We get caught up in our own heads, replaying scenarios, imagining every possible outcome, but never actually taking the first step. We think about what we want to do, but we never do it. We overanalyze every decision, trying to make sure we get it perfect, but all that does is delay progress. The truth is, perfection doesn't exist. The right time doesn't exist. There's only now. And the longer we wait, the further away we get from our goals. We waste time by saying, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start next week. We keep putting things off, thinking we have more time than we actually do. But tomorrow isn't guaranteed, and next week is never promised. The more we put things off, the more we're robbing ourselves of the chance to move forward. Every day you delay is another day you're not living up to your potential. Every day you waste is another day of growth and progress that you'll never get back. You can't afford to keep waiting. Time is ticking, and the clock isn't stopping for you. We waste time by staying comfortable. It's easy to stay where we are in our comfort zone, doing what we know, even though it doesn't bring us any closer to our goals. Change is uncomfortable. It's scary, and it requires effort. But staying comfortable is just another form of procrastination. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the longer you stay stuck. Growth happens when you step outside of that zone, when you take risks, when you embrace discomfort. Time moves faster than we realize. And if we keep waiting for the right moment or the right time, we'll find ourselves looking back years later, wondering where it all went. Every minute you waste is an opportunity you're giving up. Every day you wait is another day you're not making progress. Time is the one thing you can never get back, so you need to use it wisely. Stop wasting it on things that don't matter. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or the perfect conditions. They don't exist. The time is now. The only way to make the most of it is to take action, to stop overthinking, and to start moving forward. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to where you want to be. Time is precious, don't waste it. Control what you can and let go of the rest. We live in a world that often feels out of our control. Circumstances, other people, unexpected challenges, there are countless things that can happen outside of our influence. And yet we waste so much of our energy trying to control everything, trying to manage situations that are simply beyond our grasp. But the truth is, the only thing we can truly control is ourselves, our actions, our responses, our mindset. When we focus on what we can control and release the need to control everything else, we take back our power. It's natural to want control. It's human nature to want to feel secure, to know what's going to happen next, and to try to predict the future. But the reality is, we can't control every outcome, nor should we try to. So much of life is unpredictable. People's actions, events, and circumstances can shift without warning, and trying to control those things only leads to frustration. The more we try to control things that are beyond us, the more we feel powerless when they don't go according to plan. We become frustrated, anxious, and stressed because we are fighting a battle we can never win. There is freedom in letting go. When you stop trying to control everything, you free yourself from the weight of unnecessary worry. Instead of stressing over situations you can't change, you focus on what you can do right now. You focus on how you respond to what's happening around you. You focus on the actions you can take today instead of obsessing over tomorrow or regretting yesterday. The power comes from recognizing that the only thing you can control is your mindset, your emotions, and your actions. When you accept that, you stop wasting energy on things that drain you and start investing it in what moves you forward. Letting go of the need to control everything doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in how you approach the world. It's about shifting your mindset from a place of fear and resistance to one of acceptance and action. It's about knowing that you can choose your attitude even when things aren't going your way. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to remain calm in the face of adversity, to learn from difficult situations, and to keep moving forward, even when life doesn't go as planned. When you release the need to control everything, you also give yourself permission to fail. You stop fearing mistakes because you know they're part of the process. You stop worrying about what might go wrong and start focusing on what you can do right. You stop trying to perfect every detail and start embracing progress over perfection. This shift in mindset frees you from the pressure of always being in control, and it opens you up to growth, learning, and innovation. You begin to see failure not as something to fear, but as an opportunity to learn and improve. Letting go is also about accepting uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and the more you try to control the outcome, the more you become attached to specific expectations. And when those expectations aren't met, You feel disappointed, anxious, or defeated. But when you let go of those expectations, you open yourself up to the possibilities of what could be. You stop resisting what's happening in your life and start embracing the journey. You start realizing that not everything needs to be planned or figured out in advance. Some of the best experiences come from embracing uncertainty and allowing life to unfold naturally. When you focus on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, your choices, you stop wasting time and energy on things that don't matter. You stop trying to force things to happen, and instead you trust the process. You trust that when you give your best effort, the results will follow, regardless of what is outside of your control. You give yourself the freedom to move forward without being paralyzed by fear, doubt, or a need to control every outcome. You have the power to decide how you show up in the world, how you react to challenges, and what you put your energy into. Stop stressing about the things you can't change. Control what you can, and let go of the rest. When you do that, you'll find peace, clarity, and strength to face whatever comes your way. Keep moving forward. Life is full of setbacks, obstacles, and moments when it feels like nothing is going the way you planned. It's easy to get discouraged, to want to give up, to think that maybe it's just not meant to be. But the key to success is simple. No matter how tough things get, no matter how many times you fall, you must keep moving forward. Progress doesn't happen all at once, and success isn't a straight path. It's a series of steps, often taken through adversity. But the most important thing is that you don't stop moving. When you're faced with challenges, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. Life can throw a lot of curveballs, and it's easy to think that you're not equipped to handle them. But every setback, every hardship, every failure is an opportunity to grow. When things get tough, it's a sign that you're in the arena, that you're pushing yourself, that you're challenging yourself to do more, to be more. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the ones who never fail, they're the ones who never stop trying. They fall down, but they get back up, dust themselves off, and keep moving forward. Keeping forward momentum is about developing resilience. It's about building the strength to carry on even when you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you may not see the progress you're making, but that doesn't mean you're not moving forward. The act of showing up every day, of continuing to put in the work, even when the results aren't immediate, is a victory in itself. Success isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. And that journey is often messy, uncertain, and filled with obstacles. But the people who make it through those tough times are the ones who keep moving forward, even when they don't know what's next. The truth is, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to have all the answers or see the entire path ahead of you. What you need is the courage to take the next step, even when the road ahead looks unclear. The key to progress is action. It's about doing something, anything, even if it's small, every day. Each small action adds up over time, and it builds momentum. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll never move. Perfection doesn't exist, and trying to achieve it only keeps you stuck. The most important thing is to keep taking steps, no matter how small, no matter how uncertain you feel. There will be days when you feel tired, when you wonder if it's worth it, when you question your path. But those are the days that matter most. Because if you can keep moving forward when it's hard, when everything inside of you wants to quit, that's when real growth happens. It's easy to move forward when everything is going well, but the true test of your strength is how you handle the tough days, the failures, and the struggles. It's about getting back up when life knocks you down. And each time you rise, you grow stronger. You build resilience, and with that, you build the foundation for success. No one's journey is without obstacles, and no one achieves their dreams without facing challenges along the way. It's in the moments of struggle, when you feel like giving up, that you must make the choice to keep moving forward. Progress doesn't happen when you're standing still. And it doesn't happen when you're dwelling on what went wrong. Progress happens when you continue to move, when you keep pushing, even when the road is hard to navigate. Every step you take, even if it's just a small one, is a step closer to your goal. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. When you keep moving forward, you're telling yourself that no matter what, you're going to keep fighting for your dreams. Even when it feels impossible, even when it seems like you've hit a wall, you have the power to keep going. Don't let anything stop you from moving forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, and trust that each step will lead you closer to where you're meant to be. You've got this.